Good Monday morning, the 25th of August. So, just to let you know, I'm going to hold this video for at least another week, which next Monday is actually Labor Day, so maybe next weekend, I don't know, I'll go out and we'll look at crops again. That'll be a good couple weeks since the last time. And we had that 1-inch rain, and Saturday night, we had 1/10 of an inch. Yesterday we had a blinger of a storm that came through, but we only got 1/2 inch out of it. So we've gotten 1.6 inches basically since the middle of August. So that's got to help. I mean, but anyways, like I said, this will come out. So when people see the dates and stuff, don't get, all freaked out, because like I said, I'm going to hold it. But I wanted to start this video because, like, there's the tractor and generator. I got to go get that and put that away. I turned it off at 11:30 last night and said, fuck trying to put it away and everything at that time. Yeah, when I do go around today, I'm going to go look at a couple of bean fields. There's some bean fields that got beat up a little with hail. I see the neighbor's beans up here took a little bit of a beating because of the wind. We had some wicked wind. They had tornado warning. Those of you who follow me on Instagram saw my Instagram post. There was a tornado warning in the next county over, Wayne County. Then it moved to us. This all happened roughly 4 o'clock yesterday. I think it was somewhere in that neighborhood, between 3 and 5. But anyways, we had some here. It was around between nickel and quarter size hail, but they showed on the news this morning there was some places that had fucking golf ball size hail. So yeah, it was kind of an interesting day yesterday, because it just came up out of the blue. The neighbors next door there were having a motocross race when it came through. I think they were scrambling to everybody to get under cover. But I texted the son and said, hey, I don't know if anybody's paying attention to the weather, but there's something coming and it don't look good. So, but yeah, it was kind of nasty. It's a little cooler today. It's almost the 1st of September, so we're going to start getting cooler. But so anyways, before I go and look at some beans and stuff, I'm not like scouting to show you growth and stuff like last time. I want to see if any of the pods got knocked off from the hail. But I'm taking some of your guys' advice that have told me, just block the retards. Yeah, so I did. I've blocked 4 retards in the past week here. 3 last night, because, at 10 o'clock last night, while I'm waiting for the power company to fix, I put it in my pocket, down the road here towards Jimmy's, where the tree fell over on the power line, and the power line was literally sagged down almost to the road and hadn't snapped yet. That was amazing that it didn't snap. Yeah, because they told us 6 o'clock restoration. Then it was 9 o'clock, and like I said, at 11:30 I finally was turning off the generator. I was going to turn it off. I'm squirreling, I know. I was going to turn it off and just go to bed. We could have the windows open, but Barb says, you better leave it on, and either leave it on all night or wait, because, my mother, if she had to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or something, and there's no lights, yeah, that's not good to leave a 93-year-old in the dark. So anyways, now I'm going to squirrel back to what I said about listening to some of you guys and blocking people. I'm watching the Yankee game last night, and there's just some people that want to go back and forth constantly, and just the keyboard warriors are so smart. So I got 3 names from the last video. They're basically the dipshits. Phil Moran, Zero Editing Processing. I went and looked at his channel, special dude. And a David Adcock. Yeah, he's a Adcock, all right. But anyways, Phil Moran kept just going on and on and on, and telling me these TDS people with their, hope you're happy with what you voted for, and your prices suck now compared to a year ago. He's literally telling me what the price of soybeans were. And for you non-farmers, you can download the AgWeb app. You can download the Farm Futures app. You can download whatever agriculture app you want that gives the daily commodity market and look at it. So he's telling me prices, and I'm looking at my app going, no. I was actually just texting with my grain broker. I could contract beans right now for a month and a half from now, or roughly, 5-6 weeks, whatever, when they're ready, for about 40 cents a bushel more than what I got last year at fall. But yet I got to keep hearing about, because of Trump, your prices are, so much shittier. Good luck, blah, blah, blah. What the fuck? Like, us farmers don't know what we're actually getting. And then he went on to say, I think he worked for USDA, to be honest, because he didn't like my USDA sucks video. He went on to talk about how, well, from the 1st of August on, you got to admit your crop gets worse, so they'll adjust that yield eventually. They didn't fucking adjust 2024's yield that they came up with and had to say it was 4 bushels too high until 2025. And no, my crop has actually gotten a little better now that we've gotten some rain. I don't get this from August 1st, your crop deteriorates. Whatever. But the one thing that he said that really, I was done. You remember how I put my thumb and middle finger around the ear of corn like this to show you there was still a gap in there? That's how skinny the ears of corn were. Well, it's about 10 days ago now, because I think it was around the 15th of August. Apparently this is some racist sign. I don't know. And he's going on about how I'm a racist because of my hand gesture, putting my fucking fingers around an ear of corn to show you the girth of it. No, I'm done with that bullshit. Fuck you. Now you're going to make me out to be a racist because of some hand gesture that all I was doing was showing the girth of an ear of corn? Whatever. These people are just, the Adcock guy was the same way, just going on about, he's literally reading shit, because I like to do light reading, he says, and he's reading me stuff. And there was one thing he was talking about, how China is buying beans for $40 a ton less from South America, Brazil in particular. He's literally like copying word for word of what he's reading and everything. So I had to actually look it up, and I can't remember the dude's name, Jieping Zhang or something, and I should have wrote his title down. He's obviously from China with a name like that. Some soybean council board or something, where this dude literally said they are buying beans from South America, particularly Brazil right now, for $40 a ton, more than what they could buy from the United States. But because Xi Jinping pong ball there, the Chinese president, is biting off his nose in spite of his face, because he's going to hold out as long as he can for a trade agreement, just like he did in Trump's first term, but then caved and signed one. They're more than willing to spend more money. And of course, then they went on to say, all three of these, that China never did a trade agreement with us during Trump's first presidency. Oh, okay, yep, phase one was, So, yeah, I'm starting to listen to you people, especially on a fucking Sunday night at like 10 o'clock when these people just keep, commenting back to me on a fucking Sunday night. No. I'm listening to you. I'm done dealing with, I'm all for free speech, but I'm not for all, here's the one. I didn't mention him because I banned him like a week or two ago, a video or two ago. Y'all remember, those of you who aren't newbies, good old Ronnie Riel, who's, been a hater on here for a couple of years, which I don't get. Why are you here if you don't like me and don't like what I stand for and all that? Why are you fucking here? But anyways, I banned old Ronnie Riel too here a week or two ago, because he was leaving some halfway decent comments recently, but then all of a sudden, out of the blue, nothing to do with the video, I think it was on one of the John Deere, videos about the door getting replaced there, that Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago years ago because Epstein was stealing Trump's teenage girls that he was raping. Okay, you want to start with that fucking bullshit? I mean, holy fuck. Because the one girl who unfortunately committed suicide, I don't remember her name. Last name was like Jeffrey or something, Guifre. She's one of the ones that came out and said what Epstein did to her and made her do and whatnot. Apparently when she was like 17 or something, she worked at Mar-a-Lago at the spa. And that was when Epstein was going there. And Trump said all this in a statement, that Epstein was going there and poaching these young girls. Well, now we all know, including Trump, why. So, but then you leave a statement like that, oh, Trump banned him from Mar-a-Lago because he was stealing the teenage girls that Trump was raping. Get your fucking TDS checked. You know what's funny? Then I bring up something that I don't bring up hardly at all because it's kind of fucking sick. Ashley Biden's diary, where she said her father would jump in the shower with her. And of course, we all know the leftist media left that right alone. Kind of like the Coke in the White House. They left that all alone because who knows whose that could have been. I bring something like that up to old Ronnie Riel before I banned him. And what do I get? Oh, that's just his daughter hated him, so she made these things up, blah, blah, blah. So I guess everything that we would literally see on TV of Biden sniffing and groping little girls and women, we all saw it right in front of our eyes. Yeah, okay. That's the part that fucking, no, not dealing with it anymore. It's amazing how your guy is so innocent. Even though we can see things, even though his own child writes that in a diary, but then you spew that kind of bullshit on my channel and say Trump was raping teenage girls. Fuck you. So like right there next to the road, this is my neighbor's beans. There's a flat spot. This is my corn. This is near my brother's house. I don't see where it did anything to the corn, but you look out through the beans and you can see spots. And I got the same thing. I just happened to be going down this road first. You can see spots where it flopped the beans down. I think the majority of them will stand back up with the sun. But yeah, we had some pretty good straight line winds. So, all right, let's go check one of mine. All right, this is one of my fields down the road from the Boot of Italy farm that way. I mean, you can see by the top where they got shredded a little with hail, but I don't see any pods laying on the ground, so I don't think it ripped pods off. But yeah, you can see through them a little better. And this is obviously a spot where I turned a little too sharp or a little too soon and didn't get that part planted. But yeah, they don't look horrible. I mean, there's a lot of pods down in there. I think beans could possibly be pretty good this year, to be honest with you. See a few too many 2-bean pods. Quite a few 3. They are finally starting to fill out. But yeah, luckily the hail wasn't brutal. 5-6 miles south of us, ooh, you could see on the radar it was dark purple. They got piss pounded. Hail, straight line winds that were worse than what we had. A lot more rain. Yeah, it was ugly. Not too far south from me. But yeah, when you look out, you can kind of tell they're not as, full looking at the top now because of the hail. But it doesn't look like it really caused much damage. I did drive down to the farm that's like 4 miles south. Those beans look fine. I mean, not even sure there was any hail there. If there was, it wasn't very much. But you get another couple miles south of that, and like I said, they got hit really hard. I mean, it was just this big purple blob you could see going south of us. I'm glad that one missed us. But I think this moisture, this 1.5 inches roughly of inch and 6/10, whatever it's been since the middle of August, well, in the last 10 days now, since today's the 25th, is probably going to make a difference for us. Well, at least let's hope it does. So, all right, so now I'm out. Probably won't start this video again for another 6-7 days, 5-6 days, something like that. And it'll be looking at some of the same corn we looked at last time to compare it to what we had last time, because yeah, I did put it in the refrigerator. It's shriveled up some, but it'll still make a comparison. So, you know, I'll do my racist hand whatever. I mean, whatever. Alright, I know I said I wasn't going to film till probably the end of August again to show you some more crops to compare it to the last time, but I figured I'd do this, show you this real quick. I washed the sprayer. No, I didn't. Well, that's probably close. Didn't show you that. You've seen enough washing stuff. But now I'm winterizing. So I've got minus 50 degree RV and marine stuff. Oh, hang on while I climb up here. So I put 11 gallons in there. I took the screen out just so you could see. Now I'm gonna put it back in. I put a gallon in the foam marker. So for the person that asked, what do you mean by winterize? Let's see, the wind's blowing that way. I'll be fine. The gator sitting there. I'm going to show you what I mean by winterize. Oh. Get up in the tractor. Turn the PTO on so the pump's running. Run her up to speed and turn it on. I don't know how well you can see the stuff coming out, but it's coming out of the booms. Now I'll let it run for a minute or two. I don't want to let it run too long and end up with nothing left in the tank. But I want to fill all my lines with that minus 50 antifreeze so they don't freeze over the winter when they're sitting back there in the back part, the cold storage of the shop. And then I'll run my foam markers also to let some go through that. Oh, I'm going to shut it off and go look and see how much is left in the tank, because like I said, I don't want to run it empty, because you know that kind of defeats the purpose of having it in the lines over the winter. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. Not sure who that was that just waved to me, but we have run enough through. I'm going to run the foam markers. You don't need to see that because it's just like what I just did. So, yeah. Alright, that's done. I got it parked. I haven't put it away because Barb and I we gotta move the grain head. I gotta get that put in there, the water wagon. That's another day's project. Anyways, this video will probably end up being long by the time I wait 4 or 5 more days and look at corn, but you watch it, you don't, whatever, I don't give a fuck. But so anyway, my crop insurance agent just called me because of the wicked storm that we had that went through. I mean, like I said, 5 miles south of me, man, there was barns blown down. He just told me about over here in Conquest, which ain't that far away. A guy's corn was shredded. There's nothing but stalks left. Imagine that being that tall right now, and you see nothing but stalks because of the hail. Thank God we didn't get that bad of hail. Like I showed you in the video earlier, there's, you know, you can see some damage in the beans, but it's not bad. But anyways, I looked in my book because I was curious, because I wasn't sure. We got just shy of 2/10 last night. I wrote 0.15 in my book. So we had a ½ inch on August 6th, following 1.1 inches in July. And then we had nothing for 2 straight weeks. Then on August 20th, we had that 1 inch. And since then, we've had another, I think it was a half an inch, another tenth of an inch, the 0.15 last night. Anyways, long story short, we're at 2¼ inches now, and it is the 26th of August. So we're at 2¼ inches for August. They show this week some slight chances of passing showers. Will we get to 3 inches? I doubt it. So let's say we get another 1/4 inch, we get to 2½, we'll be at 3.6 inches for the last 2 months. So about a month's worth, maybe just shy of a month's worth of rain in 2 months' time. But it's got to help some. I mean, he was just asking me what I thought of. I told him, he says, is the corn greening back up? The shit that's brown is going to stay brown. I mean, it's not, it might help the ears fill out a little more. We're going to see that towards the end of this video. But the other reason why I turned the camera back on, because this has been irritating me since yesterday. My daughter, Chelsea. You newbies have probably never seen Chelsea. She's not on the channel very often. But she just started yesterday, as a matter of fact, her senior year in college. And she group texted her mother and I that one of her professors, and it was a law class. No, she's not going to be a lawyer. Not sure why she has to take this law class, because she's doing business shit, but whatever. Maybe it's business law. I don't know. Anyways, she had a professor who yesterday, very first day of class, day one, mind you, day one, proclaimed himself to the students as being a socialist. Yep. That's our fucking colleges today, folks. I just, in the United States, I don't know how you should be allowed to be a professor and teach these, kids, because they're basically, I mean, she's going to be 22, but they're basically still kids coming up through. Oh, and then my cousin, who I'm on my golf league with, which I golfed last night. I didn't golf great, but I beat my guy 7-5, and my cousin and I are in first place with 1 week left. I'm digressing and squirreling, I know. And then our position week, but boy, my back was, I'm hoping by next week I feel better. But anyways, he works at a college, a community college, maintenance department. And he read us off this email that they sent out. Wow. And just wow. If you need to change your name, contact the, administration office now or whatever. And, we believe in diversity and people being who they are. And, there's no bullying other people. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Yeah, unless you're a conservative and you refuse to affirm mental illness, then I'm sure, you're not allowed your opinion there. But he also said about this one professor who's a dude, apparently a, healthy, stocky looking dude like me, who walks around campus dressed as a non-dude. I'll put it that way. Dress, keyword there. You get where I'm going. Yeah. What the fuck? I mean, the alphabet soup group, the LGB and the other 25, 30 fucking letters behind it now is what, 7% of the population in this country? And I'll bet you at least half of them don't go along with the bullshit being pushed. I mean, we all know somebody who's gay or lesbian. Whatever. I mean, whatever. No problem with them people. Whatever. It's the ones when you see on social media the mother and their 3-year-old and, oh, little Johnny knew he was actually Jill trapped in little Johnny's body ever since he was 1. No, you psychopath, that's you. It's not your child thinking that. But it's like Cracker Barrel. What have they lost already? 100 million in the first, not even a week, I guess, because look at the new CEO lady there. I mean, what's the old saying? A picture speaks 1,000 words. Yeah. Apparently she didn't pay attention to Bud Light, and I read up on that whole Cracker Barrel thing. It's kind of interesting. The old guy who apparently was white in the picture, even though it's like it's a stenciled picture, and his denim outfit there next to the chair and the barrel and whatnot. We had to get rid of that because, that's racist. Well, if this is true, this is what I read. That's actually a depiction, that picture, of the person who was the original owner, or, you know, made Cracker Barrel, the restaurants. That was his uncle Herschel. That's the story that I read. That picture of the dude with the, you know, wicker chair, leaning on the wicker chair and the barrel next to him or whatever, standing there in his overalls. That was supposedly the guy who created Cracker Barrel, who came up with, you know, the Cracker Barrel restaurants, his uncle Herschel. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I read. So you're doing away with that because, well, it's no different than Aunt Jemima, you know, Uncle Ben, all them that are now gone. The Indian on Land O'Lakes, oh, that still hurt. Land O'Lakes butter and all that. I mean, how's that fucking working out for you? Ask Anheuser-Busch how it's still working out for him, because I don't think there's Bud Light drinkers that ever went back, because I know a lot of them that said, nope, never will drink a Bud Light again. So I don't get it, but that's the world we live in. We, the majority, need to bend a knee to the minority, apparently. Yeah, well, you know what I say to that? Fuck you. It ain't gonna happen. I'm so glad my kid is be done with college this year. But that's what they're trying to do to our younger generation that's coming up through. It's fucking scary. All right, we are back to finish this video. Good Sunday morning. The sun is shining. A little chilly, but it is August 31st. So tomorrow is the 1st of September. Look, got some mud on my pant legs walking out in a field, because since the 20th of August we have had 2.35 inches of rain, yeah, in the last 11 days. So I went and picked some more corn to show you. Now, these ones that I picked that were in that video, We Need Rain, I had them in the refrigerator. They've shriveled up some, so they're actually a little smaller than what they used to be. But this one here that was 16 around and 37 long, well, there's the same ear, like 14 rows out in the field, that's now 16 around 38 long. This is on the edge of the field. I picked this one just to show you. Don't go by what you see on the edge of a field, because I've had people in videos saying, oh, all the corn I drive by looks great. Well, that one's 16 around and 41 long. And yes, that extra 3 kernels, ask any farmer, you get 3 more kernels on every ear of corn for every acre you plant. Yeah, that's a lot of kernels. So, but if you remember when I did my apparently racist, you know, hand gesture there that I was talking about, I could touch my thumb and my middle finger and I still had a gap between. Well, on this one, I can't touch my thumb and middle finger. This is the one that's like 14 rows out in the field. This one along the edge, I definitely can't. Not even close. But, so that was the 515. I just went to 515. I got 520, 528, and 6-1. These two were next to each other, so that's why it's the way it was. This was 12 around and 35 long. I didn't count this one. This one's 16 around. I can't touch my thumb and my finger. I don't know how long that one is. I didn't count it, but let me count it real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, about 34. So similar. Here was the 520. This one was 12 around. Now, I didn't go in and search for a 12 around. The one that I actually got ended up being, what did this one end up being? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This one ended up being 16 around. And again, I can't touch my thumb and my middle finger. This one in this field was 16 around,
34 long 2 weeks ago. This is also 16 around, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Nope, this one's 14 around that I picked. And this one I can just barely touch my thumb and my finger. Just barely. But, and I didn't count the long on that one either. But that's what that's what 2.35 inches of rain does for you in the last 11 days. Now, if you can also see, it's just starting to dent, all of it. It's not in full dent yet because you don't see all the kernels. That one doesn't have very many. That one's starting to get quite a few dented. That one's getting a few. The reason I bring that up is because when it reaches full dent, you're looking at, I think it's right around 3 to 4 weeks, between 20 and 30 days. So let's call it 25 days. 25 days roughly. That obviously depends on weather also. After it reaches full dent, in other words, all the kernels show dent, that's when it should finally reach black layer, which means it's mature and it will start drying down. So, like I said, tomorrow's the 1st of September. So by the end of September, 1st of August, we should be in black layer. Then it starts drying down, and black layer is still like 30% moisture. So yeah, we're late. We're late. But what a fucking improvement. I mean, because of rain. And it's supposed to be like today's low 70s. Tomorrow being Labor Day, mid to upper 70s. Tuesday, Wednesday next week, they say we should be 80, 81. And we start cooling back down towards the end of next week. But it is September. You know, our average highs are dipping back down into the mid to upper 70s. I looked at the 30-day forecast, which, you know, can they ever get it right? Who knows? And the 30-day forecast shows a lot of upper 70s to, let's just say 65 to 75 degree weather for most of September. So as long as we don't get an early frost, we should survive. Are we going to be picking corn the 1st of October? I highly doubt it. But what a difference between, you know, 2 weeks ago, basically, when I put out that video for you, we need rain. And granted, those have shrunk a little from being in the refrigerator. But what a huge difference. Am I going to tell you what my final yield's going to be? No, because Barb and I last Wednesday went to the Bear Research Farm in Canandaigua, New York, about an hour away from here. The Channel Seed Dealership invited us there for their corn day, whatever you want to call it. They show us all their plots and then feed us and whatnot. And like the dude that basically runs the research farm, does all the planting and fertilizing and spraying and everything else and harvesting, like he said, he goes, if you ask me what this is all going to yield, I'll tell you when the combine rolls through it. So, because yeah, you don't know until the combine rolls through it. Looking at these ears, I'm hoping we can average on a whole throughout the, you know, all of our corn acres, somewhere between 150 and 160. If we get over 160 bushel the acre, then that's a bonus this year for the dry spell that we had and the wet start that we had. Those particular ears right there, yes, they look like they'd be better than 160. But I tried to grab an ear that looked kind of average when I went 14, 16 rows into the field. There was some that were smaller than those. There was some that were a little bit bigger than those. We're probably going to have on average between 12 around and 16 around. A lot of 14s and 16s, I'm going to guess. Probably will find a few 18s. Doubt we'll find any 20s this year. I'm surprised we don't have a whole lot of tip back, which for you non-farmers means the top of the year didn't produce kernels for as dry as it was. I'm thinking the extra moisture we had in the spring gave us that, or kept us from having the tip back. But so yeah, there's promise in the corn, let's put it that way. All right, so here's, I guess, your one more thing. I drove up here to the bean field up back, the farm's down there. This was the very first field planted. I'm just going to randomly walk out in here, take a look,
see what they look like. They're looking better. Not a ton of pods on the top because we were so dry, but they have potted up more. Oh, I hate stepping on the beans and knocking them over. They'll stand back up, but you know what? Let's do this. Where is, if I can get my hand on the bottom of one. Let's pull a bean plant, actually take it out and throw it on the back of the gator and take a look at it. Yes, I just threw the ears there. The deer will eat them. All right. There's your bean plant. You can see a lot of pods towards the bottom. They didn't pod a lot towards the top because it got dry, and I think a lot of the flowers aborted. But you can also see that they're actually filling out now. It's not just a flat pod, or the pod's not just flat. You can actually feel the bean inside it, and you can see it. So ask me what these are going to yield. I don't have a clue. Not as good as last year, but some beans look better than others. Let's put it that way. Bottom line is they're going to be what they're going to be. There's nothing we're going to do about it. The fact that we've gotten over 2 inches of rain in the last 11 days to make a crop is, I'm very thankful for that. So even though some hater in one of the video, maybe it was either the USDA sucks video or the one where I said we needed rain. Well, if you'd be, more thankful instead of being an asshole. And I think it was the USDA video because we had gotten some rain. And I think I went back and looked, the first 48 seconds, I said, thank the God, thank the Lord that we finally got some rain and whatnot. Yeah, Democrats, kind of like Rosie O'Donnell there with her, It was a white supremacist that did the school shooting. Yep, they just love to push the bullshit. That's bullshit. I literally said, thank God we got rain. And the school shooter was literally not a fucking white supremacist MAGA, when he writes on the gun clips, kill Trump and all that shit. Yeah. Okay. Get your Grumpy Farmer apparel and we'll see you in the next one. Just a quick second or third more thing, whatever we're up to. If you made it this far, good for you, because I don't like putting out videos this long, and this is way longer than I normally do. But I misspoke earlier when I said August 1st. I meant October 1st. If we make it to October 1st, I'd rather say October 10th without a killing frost. Me, here, us. I don't know about other farms. We should be okay. Our crop should make it.